matter of
you.
putting into words what you have already done. And all the best.
Thank you, Boss Lady Shodi.
You're welcome. And then I have two other hands. Let's take Boss Lady Zamaswazi. Where's your next pitch, Boss Lady?
Good evening, ladies. For me, my next pitch is going to be for my postgrad at Wits through work, obviously, for the recommendations that I had for streamline leadership and proposal for how leadership impacts organizational culture to drive high performance. So,
Wow.
yeah.
All the best with that, Boss Lady. You said it's next week.
No, it's on the 11th of November.
Aha. You've
Yeah.
got this. You've got it in the bag. You're at the right
Yes,
place.
you got it. Yes. Thank you.
Fantastic. Can we take one more? Because I did see there was one more. Vuyelwa, Boss Lady Vuyelwa, where's your next pitch?
Hi, boss lady. So I think my next pitch is most likely going to be an interview of some sort. I don't know at this stage whether it's a job interview or what, but it's going to be an interview of some sort. And I also want to pose a question, is there such a thing as pitching to yourself?
Interesting question. I'll come back to the question, but all the best with your interview. I'm not sure if it's already booked or it's one of those you are crossing fingers, you've applied and you're waiting for this opportunity. Nonetheless, we wish you everything of the best. I can't take any more comments at this point. Let's leave. So the hands that are raised, please put them down. You'll have an opportunity to share your thoughts in the next session. The reason I'm asking this question is because I want to pose something different to every single boss lady that's joined today to say, what if I told you that your next pitch is tomorrow morning? Give me an indication with your reactions. Would you, if I said your next pitch is tomorrow morning, would you give it a heart? Would you give it a thumbs down? Would you give it a crying face? What would you give it? A heart. Boss Lady Zama is giving it a heart. Boss Lady Sima says, hooray. Vuyelwa is nervous. Guess what, boss ladies? Your next pitch is tomorrow morning because in the morning, if you're a coffee person, you're probably going to stop for your morning coffee. That interaction is a pitch. When you go to Pick n Pay for your groceries in the evening, that interaction is a pitch. When you're posting on social media about yourself, about your business, about your career, if it's on LinkedIn, that is a pitch, boss ladies. If you're waiting for an Uber or if you are in the Uber, and I know a lot of us tend to say, yo, when I'm in the Uber, don't talk to me, please. That's my time to keep quiet and focus on my destination. But you don't realize that more often than not, you are waiting for opportunities because you think they are going to come packaged as a stage and a microphone. I love my microphone. You think that there's going to be a perfect moment where they say, now is the time. Tell us about yourself. Unfortunately, that's not the case all the time. There are times for formal pitches that you've all explained so eloquently that you need to prepare for. But 90% of our success rate as career professionals and as business people comes from the ability to pitch impromptu. On the spot. Tell us about yourself. Tell me about yourself in that conversation with Rose at the till at Pick n Pay while she's saying plastic and she's waiting for void or whatever. Then you just have a conversation. Hey, yes, Rose, I love your hair. You know that's a pitch. Next time, Rose is going to likely be the person that sees you and says, when she sees you on social media, she says, that's the lady. that I spoke to and she was so nice to me, or she gave me so much grace when all the other customers were unfriendly. The point I'm trying to make is let us not be so hung up on the idea of I'm going to get my one chance to shine on the stage with a microphone and everyone is paying attention to me. Sometimes that pitch is just your social media post, your social media video, your conversation with the next stranger that you meet. That is a pitch. So right now I'm going to be going into the pitching essentials. What are the make or break essentials for a pitch? Firstly, you need to have structure. Now that you know that a pitch is not just that formal meeting, everything is a pitch, a conversation is a pitch.
Are we all stuck? Was it just me who's not hearing anything?
I
We
also
need
couldn't
to-
hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think her network may have dropped. For new boss ladies who joined us, like Gugu, Zama, while we're holding space, we asked everybody to tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the year? How do you feel about your achievements this year? And where are you at 6 weeks before we get to holidays? You can raise your hand, open mic, or comment on the chat box. Where are you in terms of your feeling good, excited, on top of the game, happy with the year? Are you a 4? Are you a 6? Are you a 8? Are you a 10? I felt like I am somewhere between 7 and an 8. There's things that I haven't achieved yet.
Hi, hello, Boss Lady Knox. I feel like I'm on 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're winning, girl. She's blooming. She's
Yes, I'm
blooming.
blooming. Yeah.
Nice. Tell us why you are an 8.
Because I think this year, I think this year I achieved more than what I had in mind, in terms of personal growth, in terms of growing professionally. Yes, in my mind, I had something I imagined bigger, but I didn't know that there are basics that I needed, and God knew that for me. And God gave me just that. And that's why I feel so full. I'm glad I did not even get some things that I thought I wanted. So that's my position.
That's wonderful, Sama. That's wonderful. Just accepting where God placed you is exactly where you're supposed to be, and being grateful to see that, and ranking yourself an 8. Boss lady, my story dropped, and I think she's back. There's other boss ladies who haven't responded. If you're ready, boss lady, my story, you can go through.
My humble apologies for that. I am back. Thank you. My network is misbehaving. Can everyone still hear me and see me?
We can see the
Yes, boss
slides.
lady.
We can't see you. We can see the deck. It's not yet on presenter mode, the deck.
Okay.
So put it on presenter mode and come back to see your beautiful smile. And we are good to go.
All right. Just 1 second. There we go. And then presenter mode. Okay. It looks like something is happening. Is the screen visible? No, my network.
Your screen is visible. Don't stress, boss lady. We are here. You are with the family. You are on presenter mode, and we can see the pitch structure. You can shoot.
Thank you, boss lady. So, boss ladies, like I was saying before I was cut off, structure is the backbone of creativity, of every conversation that you want to have. There are different kinds of pitches. There are the formal pitches that you have, your business or your sales or elevator pitch, where you will have that moment to shine on the stage, where the time is yours to just tell us about yourself in 1 minute, 3 minutes, however much time you are given. But an interview is equally a pitching opportunity. A conversation is a pitching opportunity. A social media post is a pitching opportunity. So you need to remember that all of these pitching opportunities have their relative structures. So the way you structure your conversation and how you carry yourself and the things that you say in an interview will not be the same for a conversation. A conversation is a two-way street that requires active listening. So in as much as you want to use that conversation as a platform to showcase your value, present your value, but you have to acknowledge that a conversation can't be my platform where it's my moment to shine and I don't allow others to give input. The point that I'm trying to make with this, so that we see the bigger picture behind pitching, is that 77% of business partners and prospects are found in conversation or through referrals. So if you are still waiting for that perfect opportunity to shine on a stage, maybe you're the kind of person that's always applying for these funding opportunities, you're hoping that they call you, you might actually never get that opportunity if you don't take advantage of the other pitching opportunities, conversations that you have with people that you meet, whether it's at a social gathering, your social media posts, and how you are structuring your posts. You need to acknowledge that those are called always on pitches. Always on, meaning there's no perfect time to do it. Every day is the perfect day to do it. So what is a pitch structure? Now I'm talking about those formal pitching opportunities. You've been invited to present your value proposition to a board of potential sponsors. You've been invited to an interview. Boss Lady Zama is having her conversation, her KPI conversation very soon. What structure can she use? There are lots of things that you can find on the internet, but through my coaching program for Pitching Essentials, these are the 3 most important takeouts to structure your formal pitches. The first one is your central point. What central point do you want people to walk away remembering? If they remember this one thing, I am good, I've done my job. So Boss Lady Zama, for you, what is that one thing? Think about it. What is the one thing that you want people to remember? I think it was Boss Lady Vuyelwa who said she's having a connect and she'll be pitching about, leadership. What is the one thing at the core of everything that you're telling them? What's the one central takeaway that you want them to remember? Boss Lady Sane, you'll be pitching to graduates who need to prepare themselves for the workplace. There's so much to prepare. There's so much to prepare. What's the one thing that you want them to remember? And that's what's going to guide how you structure the pitch. Secondly, there's something called the power of 3. And now I want you to let me know in the chat, have you ever heard about the power of 3? I'll give you examples because you have heard about the power of 3. There's the 3 blind mice, Goldilocks and the 3 bears, the 3 billy goats, the 3, anyone who has a child and has gone through the toddler phase of a child that's learning nursery rhymes will remember 3 was the powerful number that was used in almost all the songs. If you watch these television shows, you'll even see that some of them have 3 characters. It's mommy, daddy, and baby. 3 is a powerful number because our brains are made to retain information in bits and pieces of 3. So when you think about the central point, you know, everything has that one thing that I want people to remember about what I'm telling them. You use the power of 3 to build the blocks of your central point. I'll use a classic, typical example. I'm trying to get people to remember, or let's use one of the boss ladies in our community, Boss Lady Rushka, from Bravo, the lady that sells a hug in a cup. She is trying, her central message is to get us to buy her bras. That's the central message, buy a bra. What can she do with the power of 3 to help us support her message? She can say, buy a bra because this is what you need to upkeep those precious breasts of yours. You need a new bra as a mom because a lot of us spend a lot of our resources buying things for our little ones and we don't self-care. So a bra is self-care. And then her third one can be, a bra can put a smile on your face. I don't know. I'm making these up. She has her value proposition. But the point I'm trying to make is the power of 3 is going to help you to better structure whatever you are pitching to your audience. If you ever feel like you are so nervous, you've rehearsed this thing so many times, you don't know whether you are coming or you are going. Every time you practice, you forget all the points. Cut them down to 3. What are the 3 most important takeaways that you want them to remember from this? What are the 3 points? And then lastly, under the structure, we have the Oreo framework. So if you ever wondered, what must be in my pitch? How do I structure it? Think about an Oreo. Classic example, simple cookie. It's got the cookie on top. It's got the filling and the cookie at the bottom. That's your introduction. That's your body. That's your conclusion. No manga business. And then everything must fit into that filling. And in that filling, that's where you can use the power of 3. What are the 3 things that I want you to take away from this that are supporting my main idea? My main idea is the Oreo cookie. But what are the 3 key benefits of this Oreo cookie? And that's structure. The reason why structure is so important, it helps us to manage our time. And it's something that a lot of us grapple with. How do I manage my time when I've been asked to pitch? They only gave me 3 minutes. How do I know? Must I fit everything into those 3 minutes? If you cut it down using the power of 3, you will realize that you actually have so much time in the world to just focus on the most important points. Now that we've covered structure, let's look at the statement. There's one remarkable statement that you are going to make in your pitch that is going to have everyone remember you because of the value that you bring. And that is what's called your purpose statement or your brand purpose statement. That is the question that helps you, or answering the brand purpose statement helps you to answer that big tell us about yourself question that can be so daunting because we are so many things to so many people in so many occasions. How do I know how to answer this question if I'm sitting in front of a board? Do I tell them about what I enjoy about being a mother? Is it appropriate? It can be. It can be. And that really depends, again, on how you're going to use the power of 3 to break down who you are. So your purpose statement is made up of your skills and your strengths, Secondly, it's made of your vision. What is your future outlook? And then thirdly, your impact in the community. And when I say community, let that not be excused with confused with community as in where we live. Yes, that is community, but work is a community. So even if you're sitting pitching yourself in an interview, that workplace environment is the immediate community. If you want to pitch to be pitching for funding, getting funding, how are you going to use that funding for community impact? That's the business community. And ultimately, your purpose statement must be clear and concise. I want to ask ladies, boss ladies in the room, does anyone have a purpose statement? Please share with me. I'll take one. Does anyone have a purpose statement or a brand purpose statement? And are they comfortable sharing it with us this evening? Don't be shy. Even if it's not well crafted, but do you have one? No one has one. Okay, let me know in the chat because it looks like you are shy. I don't know why. Let me know in the chat who has a brand purpose statement. Okay, and while we wait for that, I'm going to share some examples of a brand purpose statement. Am I frozen? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me share some examples that will help you maybe to wrap your minds around the idea of a brand purpose statement. So this is the brand purpose statement for us at Speakingdom. We champion change through the transformative power of communication. We do this by empowering youth, SMEs, and large corporates to deliver impact through articulate, bold, and captivating communication experiences. Does that mean anything to anyone? I see Boss Lady Knox says, I'm here to serve women, helping them unlock their power and potential to prosper. Clear and concise. One paragraph. Why is this important, boss ladies? It's important because everywhere you go, no matter where in the world you go, you are going to get that question. It might come in different angles, but essentially everyone is going to want to know, who are you? It's probably the first question you get asked at your job interview. So tell us about yourself. Then you're there trying to clutch at straws. Must I tell them about my previous job? Must I tell them about how hardworking I am? Then we end up saying things that we don't really mean because we're just trying to get through the answer. No, this is your perfect opportunity to position your profile in a short and sweet manner. So I want to give everyone that encouragement. Think about your purpose statement. How are you going to answer the who are you question? Boss Lady Sane, you are going to be pitching to graduates. They're going to want to know why. Why should we listen to you, Sane? Especially these, I'm at 2000, hey, they ask questions. Why you? How you answer the why you question is the brand purpose statement. Because, I don't know, I'm making it up, because I have a passion for young people. My own experiences have shaped how I see the world, and I don't want to see another person go through this world unguided. My passion is the youth. I just made that up, by the way. Please craft your own. Think about it, boss ladies. Craft your brand purpose statement. It's important for every single pitch. Every single pitch. I've included a couple more examples in this pitch deck, which Boss Lady Knox can share with you, that will just give you a little bit of inspiration. Here's another one. Quick, sweet, and simple. We help individuals and families achieve their financial goals by providing tailored advice and strategies that build wealth, security, and peace of mind. You know, when someone reads this purpose statement, they don't have to ask, so what do you do again? Or so you know, it gives them the relevance. Like, we're having this conversation because I know what value you're going to bring for me. So think about your brand purpose statement. And then lastly, under the pitching essentials, it's my favorite, storytelling. So now, by a show of hands, and you can use your reaction emojis to show me, who here remembers the story of Victoria? Who remembers Victoria's story? Who remembers the story? Vuyelwa, Boss Lady Vuyelwa remembers. Who else remembers? I can't see any other reactions. Oh, Boss Lady Mpume, she remembers the story. Boss Lady Mpume, I hate to put you on the spot, but can you just share with me why do you remember the story? Is there one thing that you remember? Why do you remember it?
The fact that it had a happy ending.
Right? Yes, absolutely. The point I'm trying to make about the power of storytelling is that your pitch is not complete if it does not have a story. It's not complete because then it's just any other pitch. And think about it this way. I'm using a practical example of Pick n Pay, the retailer, and Checkers, the retailer. Both are doing pretty much the same thing. They are offering groceries to the middle-class South African. But have you heard Raymond Ackerman's story, the founder of Pick n Pay, when he said, I started this business because I just lost my job somewhere and I literally had nowhere to turn, and then I just had 600,000 Rand. I went to a friend who had started a small retailer with 3 shops. I bought those shops and I said, I want South Africans to be able to access food, healthy food, at a cheap cost, at an affordable cost. When he tells that story, it's not the same story that the Checkers founder is going to tell. Storytelling is linked to our human psychology because we understand each other with stories. If I'm trying to connect with Boss Lady Sima, she might be in a whole other industry. But if I tap into Yazi Sima growing up, we did this. Our shared experiences. We don't even have to be from the same culture. I don't have to be Zulu. I'm Bedi. But there are things that we can relate with because of our human experience. Storytelling will do that for you because it has that emotional value. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're trying to convince someone of something and they just don't get it, use a story. This is a tip for you, Boss Lady Zama. When you're sitting in your KPA discussion and Boss Lady Knox says, no, I'm not buying it. No, use a story. Say, Boss Lady Knox, if I was not here, if this role was vacant, imagine this, Boss Lady. If this role was vacant, imagine the number of clients that would be underserved and just not satisfied. With that story, she's now connecting the dots like, yeah, I see the value that you've brought. If you're ever in that situation, you're trying to sell using hard facts and figures and stats, they're just not getting it, use a story. And chances are from this entire presentation, you Boss Ladies are going to remember Victoria's story, my story, because that was a hook. Hooks are what we call attention grabbers. If you ever starting anything and you feel so nervous, the best way to start it to grab people's attention is with a story. We can all relate with stories, even if we don't really relate with the journeys that the characters have went through, but we can all relate because it's got that human element. I always struggled during the COVID period where we had those doctors that come on TV and they share the facts and figures and the stats about COVID and this. Yes, it was scary, but I'm like, what does it mean? They're using all these scientific terms. How about a story to break it down? So give me a story. Give me a story. Tell me about something that happened in the past or that's currently happening and how it links to our humanness. And that is a great hook. So in your next pitch, in your next interview, maybe they're asking you, tell us about yourself. Then you share your purpose, your brand purpose statement, and then you say, I came to this realization because growing up, I was always the child that wondered if everyone around me was taken care of. And then I realized that that was actually a leadership trait. They can connect with that. It's not rocket science. They get it. They have to get it. Why is storytelling effective? It's effective because it's linked. When we share stories, it triggers an area in our brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for information processing and memory. Why am I sharing this? If you are ever trying to be memorable in a sea of people that are attending job interviews, there's 100 of you. If you want to be memorable, leave them with a story. Leave them with that, wow. There's like 10 people that have the exact same qualifications. They have the exact same number of years of experience. But this one story, no, we need this person on our team. So now, I would like one boss lady who is bold and brave to share with us all, what stories do you need to start pitching or including in your pitch? Just one. Indulge me. I'm dying to hear from someone. Anyone. There is no right or wrong. What stories do you need to start telling that will help your pitch to be... Stories give pitches aromat, you know? You can tell us about the facts and the figures, but stories will give us that story sessionally. This pitch has taste. Boss Lady Knox, I see your hand is up. Please go for it.
I was holding back so I don't remove my back. So I want to be the last. It's a beautiful lady who feels me when I was at the piano. But this is how I started my story. I'm yet to figure out if it is effective. So I'm gonna ask the boss ladies to please rate me on a 1 to 10 scale. How convicting or credible my story is of conversion. So my story is every single person is something precious, the diamonds, an incredible seed. And
Boss Lady, your line is breaking. It sounds like you're underwater.
Okay, let's try again. How does it sound now?
Is it it's
How does
better?
it sound
It's
now?
better. Better, yes,
Okay.
much better.
My story starts this way. Every single person is born with the diamond in them, a seed that is so great. And it does not matter where you were born, what privileges you had or you didn't have. This diamond remains within you. Your number one job is to polish the diamond and take it out for the rest of the world to enjoy, to impact this world and dent this world with your gift, your key message. Whatever the gift that you have within you, you've got to bring it out. So I am the girl from the Dusty Streets of Newcastle who discovered that she does have the gold, and Newcastle is known for coal mining. The diamond does come from the dirt in between, in the middle of all that coal. And without me even realizing, all my life I've been shining, dusting, really refining and polishing this diamond. And I'm at the stage where I'm ready for the world to see this diamond. shine and show everyone in the world that indeed the inner work, the recognition of what you have within you being so powerful and knowing that the world needs it will inspire everyone to do the same and do the inner work to bring out the diamond and shine. So, from the streets of Newcastle to the rest of the world, is this girl, middle name Winnie. I believe I am winning. And I want everyone else to win. And so let's begin. Let's polish the diamond. Let's unlock the inner greatness within all of you. Join Bloom Inside Out so that you can unlock the power and potential within you. And take a stage in this world. And that it didn't flow as well as I wanted to, but that's the essence of my story.
No, we got it, boss lady. We got it. You get the golden tickets to go to Sun City.
I'm blushing.
I love the story, boss lady. I love that you started unconventionally. So you started with a statement that everyone has that diamond in them. And then you showed us with your own life, your own lived experiences, how that diamond in you was brought to shine. And that beautiful analogy that you painted with where you come from. It's a recipe for success. So well done, boss ladies. The only point that I can make is maybe spend a little bit more time to take us through the process of the refining of the diamond. So show us that it wasn't just overnight that I realized that I was a diamond and then I started shining. Take us through the people love to be taken on an emotional roller coaster. Take us through and it can be one or two instances. You know, when I was growing up, there was this, and it was very difficult, and this is how I overcame. Again, my diamond started to shine. So take us through the journey and use the emotive language to showcase how that journey unfolded.
Awesome. So I've used elements of it on LinkedIn. And it's one of those posts that really got a lot of reaction on LinkedIn when I spoke about not having the education fund, but having the desire to study further so I can ultimately work for Unilever, because Unilever came to my high school on a career day. And that was how I got to UKZN. And then while also pursuing the degree, hoping to get to med school, on the third year, I had a second encounter with Unilever. And they were recruiting for graduate trainees. And again, I spoke from out of my heart of what I wanted. And 2 weeks later, I had a job offer from Unilever without a degree exam even finished. And that has been almost the repeat of the same story, narrative of how you just got to put yourself out there and say, I want this. And the universe literally meeting you to say, you've got it. The diamond is there, just keep polishing. And that was the same with careers within Unilever, to starting the business, to 20 years in business. So I just cut it short so I don't take your stage. But I love that you are literally here to teach us to talk about our becoming story, because that's the center and the emotive hook for everyone to believe that they can also do it. It doesn't take you being extra special. We all have what it takes to succeed in this world. All right, that's me for the night.
Absolutely, boss lady, you've nailed it. You've hit the nail on the head. You know, the power of storytelling then goes to the point where in a room full of personal and professional development coaches, and we're seeing a rise of them throughout the world. We're seeing a rise of your wellness, transformational coaches. We're seeing a rise of those coaches. This is the story that's going to make me come to Boss Lady Knox, because I feel there are parts in her story that I can connect to. If she didn't share the story, it just looks like Bloom Inside Out. Oh, okay, that nice, beautiful purple brand. Oh, okay. But there's nothing really that's connecting the essence of what they do with me as a client that's trying to get value. So, boss ladies, your story is what's going to show the world what your value is, because you all have a lived experience that can change the next person's life. Nothing in your life is happenstance. Nothing in your life is haphazard that, oh, coincidentally, this just happened. It all happened with the divine appointed purpose of elevating your story so that one day that's the story that you're going to use. So even you, Boss Lady Sane, I love the work that you're doing with young people, the graduates. Include your story. I'm sure you have a story. I'm sure there's a story. Include your story as you're trying to get buy-in from them. Include your story that this is actually how I started. This was my rise, and I'm here today because I'm trying to help you to achieve the same. Okay, so boss ladies, we are at the halfway mark. I'm just cognizant of time. Are there any questions or comments at this juncture? Does anyone have a question? I'm just also checking the chat. Any questions, please, boss ladies, please come on, ask your question so that we can move on to part 2. Boss ladies, Amaswazi says, my story is my value proposition. Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to keep hammering the point. Guys, buy my product. It's the best product out there. Please, why don't you buy? No, please. You're wasting our time. Tell us the story that's going to have us think, wow, I need that product, right? Okay, in the absence of questions, let's move on. And before we move on, I would like to invite you, if you're loving what you're hearing, guess what? It's just a snippet. It's just a taste of what can be offered to you through Speakingdom. Like I mentioned, we're Pan-African Leadership and Skills Development Academy that champions impact through the transformative power of public speaking and communication. So we have a 10-week public speaking training program. We have a 6-week pitching essentials program where we just talk about pitching, just the pitch. What are the different elements of a pitch when you're pitching to investors? What is an elevator pitch? You just have 30 seconds to win us. What do you need to focus on? You have 5 minutes to win an audience. What are you going to do with that 5 minutes? And then we also have a communication skills effectiveness program that we offer for workplaces. So if any of you boss ladies on this call, or you know someone out there that's running any program, employment program where they have young people, especially young people that are fresh from school and don't really know the ins and outs of the work environment, please, we are here to help them with communication effectiveness skills that they can thrive in the workplace. Our contact details are on the screen, and you can visit us at www.speakingdom.co.za. I'm moving on now to pitching tools. What are the things that are going to just make you stand out? Remember, we spoke about the pitching essentials. Those are the non-negotiables. If you don't have structure, if you don't have a purpose statement, if you don't have a story, that pitch is, you rather actually not do it. But these are pitching tools that edify the pitch. These are the tools that are going to help you just differentiate, just be a little bit more different, because number 1, you are more confident. Number 2, you are using communication aids. And number 3, you have courage. Let's talk a little bit about confidence. Confidence is the deep-seated belief in one's worth, your potential, and your abilities, and it arises from within. It's that profound sense of self that is inside. But a lot of us have experienced things that take away from our confidence, and these are called confidence clouds, the things that cloud our confidence. Some of those things are failures and setbacks, rejection, Boss Lady Knox spoke about that, setbacks in her environment where she wasn't able to have funding to go to school. That could have easily been a setback that dictates what the rest of her career journey is going to be like. But it didn't, because she's got that profound sense of self internally. Another one is unresolved trauma. If you've gone through a harsh upbringing, and for a large majority of your life, you've just been fighting. You know, a lot of us are just fighting battles, especially Black people, because that's our history. But there are some people that fight more battles than others. So if you've just been in this life of hard knocks, one knock after the other, one trauma after the other, and it's unresolved, that can knock your confidence down. And there are many other things that hurt our confidence. The environment, if it doesn't support us, if you never get those words of affirmation, your parents don't support you, no one in your environment is saying, hey, we see you, go for it. Comparison and judgment. There's so many other things. But I want you to pay attention to this graph here. The biggest portion of confidence clouds is, there's one thing that takes up the biggest portion of the things that affect our confidence. Can anyone guess what that is? Any guesses? You're welcome to come to the mic or type it in the chat. Can anyone guess that big turquoise blue on the far right of the screen with the question mark? What do you think is the number one confidence cloud? Boss Lady Sima says it's self-belief. You are actually right. It's linked to self-belief. Any other takers? What do you think it is? Fear. Yes, Boss Lady Sane, fear. It's linked to fear. It's linked to fear. It's so linked to fear. Boss Lady, yes, fear. Boss Lady Sane says fear. Boss Lady Mpume says fear. Boss ladies, you are actually on the mark. The number one confidence cloud that contributes 46% of our lack of confidence is self-criticism. Self-criticism directly impacts fear, because when you continuously badger yourself, continuously tell yourself how you are not worthy, not good enough, not this, not that, not ready, we are always not something. That self-criticism, what is it doing? It's feeding your fear. So anytime an opportunity comes to pitch, you're not going to do it because your mind is just full of self-criticism. Low self-esteem, you've said it, Boss Lady Zama. What are others going to say? That is self-criticism. That is self-criticism. The way that we speak about ourselves is so important, boss ladies. You can't pitch. There's no pitch that you can do if you are always badgering yourself about the things you cannot do or the things you are not ready for. You're going nowhere. Trust me. I've seen this. In the story that I shared about my former early years, as I was 12 years old, I had one stage fright incident. One stage fright. One in my entire previous career of doing poems. One stage fright was all it took for me to live as a shadow of myself, because I started to remind myself every time I need to speak that, oh, Kana wena, you have social anxiety. Kana wena, you're the kind of person when you're standing in front of people, you forget your words. Kana wena, you're the kind of person whose voice shakes when she has to speak. So you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not gonna do that. How dare you think you can compete in the big leagues? No, you're not ready. Today, we are putting a full stop to the self-criticism. And I hear the voices of women when we are in boardrooms, when we are at conferences, and you want to say the answer. You want to say, like, you really want to say it. And then imposter nyana comes and visits you in your brain and says, ooh, wena, no ways. Listen to your English. How do you sound? There's no way you're going to say that. Listen to that other one's English. You see, that's how you must sound. Listen to Boss Lady Knox. She's so confident. She dresses so well. She's always smiling. She's always bubbly. Wena, you can't do it, wena. Wena. Guess why that voice exists? It was created by you. No one else. No one else created that voice. It was you. So from today, we are putting an end to that lack of awareness of how the things we say about ourselves are affecting us, because they truly are killing us. We are missing out on opportunities. We don't stand out because we are constantly berating ourselves, judging ourselves, badgering ourselves. It ends today, ladies. And it starts with the journey of affirming yourself. When I wake up every single morning, I try to do this every single morning because life is tough. The going gets tough. As Boss Lady Knox was saying to us at the beginning of the meeting, how are you feeling? Are you on a 4 or a 3? Life is happening. But when you wake up, please, you must stand up and affirm yourself. I am bold. I am courageous. I am victorious and overcoming in every trial, circumstance, and area in my life. I am more than enough. I can conquer all the things that I put my mind to. I am born with a purpose. I know the reason that I am alive. I am alive in purpose, on purpose, with purpose. This is my season. I am the personification of Psalms 1 verse 3. Like the tree planted by the riverside, I am bringing forth my fruit. Everything that I do prospers. My leaves will not wither. I am bold. I am victorious. I am courageous. I am worthy. That's the self-hype you must give yourself. If you don't hype yourself, we're gonna hype you. Boss Lady Sima? You're waiting for us to tell you we're not, because we're also facing our own things. We're also facing our own things. I'm also worried that, my children, what are they going to eat? Now you're worried that we didn't tell you that umuhle. Hi, Bob, I'm beautiful. You don't see me? Shame. Sorry that you don't see it. I'm beautiful. I tell myself so. Speak highly of yourself. Why? Because you are always listening. Everything that you say about yourself, it's always getting registered in your mind. And that's what becomes your identity. If you're not careful about how you speak about yourself, you could be forming your identity based on falsehood, false things, based on how you grew up, based on the trauma, based on the fear, based on the, I'm not validated, my environment is toxic, my this. Therefore, when someone asks me a question, I don't even have the confidence to say, I think I know the answer. Because what? Your identity is already formed that you're not good enough. So from today, I'm doing this because we are no longer doing that. We need confidence, boss ladies. We need confidence in everything that we do. Okay, confidence from today. Confidence. You're just going to rock it. You affirm yourself. You validate yourself. You are the diamond. Yes, Boss Lady Knox, I am the diamond. And like Lebo Mathosa said, ha o nyaka ho ratwa ke batho, thoma o ithate. Ha o nyaka ho bonwa ke batho, thoma o ithate, o ipone. Ha o nyaka, hey, I can't sing, but if I could. She said it. You can't expect us to see something that you yourself are not validating. So in order to pitch, show up for that interview, show up for that funding opportunity, you want to tell people about your brand purpose statement, but you don't believe it, stop it right now. It's time for confidence. Get up, dust yourself off, say your affirmations, and keep it moving. And then secondly, we have under the pitching tools, it's your communication aids. What is the communication aid? It's anything that makes communicating a little bit easier. So if you think about it, right now I have slides. My slides are my communication aid. But my slides are not the only thing. I've got my hand gestures. I've got my facial expressions. I've got my posture, how I'm dressed, how I'm talking to you. Most importantly, I've got my voice. Your voice is the biggest communication aid that there is. A lot of us walk to opportunities. Maybe you've been called to present something somewhere. Then they say, okay, while you're preparing, please prepare your slide deck, bring your slide deck with you. On the day of the presentation, they say, yo, there's load shedding, or yo, the technical what ITs are not working. Then it throws you off completely. You're no longer able to pitch because you were relying so much on this one communication aid, not realizing that your whole body is a communication tool. Your body language, the way you sit, the way you laugh, the way you talk with your hand gestures, your facial expressions, the way you're dressed, everything is helping you to deliver this pitch. The number one thing that's helping you is your voice. Your voice is there to help you bring your message across. Without your voice, there is no message. And yes, you have people that use sign language. That's great. They have the tool. They are using the tool. So you as well, use your voice. There are meaningful ways to use your voice. How do you do it? There's something called pitch. Pitch is that variation in the thickness or the thinness of your voice. So if you hear someone speaking with a very high-pitched voice like that, that's great. But then you get people that are able to captivate an audience by practicing more resonance in their voices, thereby allowing their voices to be a little bit more thicker, more richer, and they can be experienced more eloquently. So you can play around with your voice based on the emotion that you're trying to create. If I'm telling you a story in my pitch about the diamonds and how I myself was a diamond, I can start off the story in a low pitch and really tell you about how this diamond from the township was raised and how it then shone for the entire world to see. Do you see that? Your voice is there to help you. You have tone. Tone, it's, you know the saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. We can all be saying the same thing. We can all be saying, how are you today? But I can say, how are you today? Or how are you today? Or how are you today? Those are all different ways that you vary your tone, your volume, your pace, how fast you speak when you're trying to make a point and you're trying to get people to understand something, or how you slow it down if you want people to really understand the emphasis of what you're saying. Diction. Diction is made up of your pronunciation and your enunciation. Some people, and I never judge pronunciation because we come from different parts of the world. So we pronounce things based on how we've been socialized. Zulu people have a particular pronunciation, and that is your accent. So we have a South African accent, we have an Indian accent, we have an American accent, we have a London British accent. All those are different, but there's also diction. It's how you say your words, that every word is crisp and clear. And then lastly, verbal fluency. All of this I'm saying because I want you to realize that there is no way of perfecting this and then you have your beautiful slides and then you have that moment to shine, but you're not leveraging the things that are inbuilt inside of you to take advantage of that pitching opportunity. And people always ask me, what if I'm so nervous? I just can't shake off these nerves. What I always say in response is the nerves are not going anywhere. The nerves are not going anywhere. What is going somewhere is your courage. And that's the last C of pitching tools. If you want to be an outstanding pitching person or speaker, you have to build courage. Courage is that muscle, the speaking muscle, the public speaking muscle. It's courage. It's courage. All you need is courage, because the nerves are not going anywhere. And I want to depict this in the following way, that the first time you speak, your courage is very low, the nerves are very high. You speak again, your courage is growing. The nerves are not going anywhere. You speak again, your courage is growing. It's probably now at 50%. You feel like, oh, I can actually do this. The nerves are staying the same. They're going nowhere. You speak again. The next opportunity you get to speak, you feel a little bit more courageous because you've been building this muscle of courage. And before you know it, your courage is now superseding your nervousness. Before you know it, you've done 500 pitches, 500 interviews. You were nervous for all of them. That's what this thing is depicting. Exactly, Boss Lady Mpumi. Consistency is what builds the courage. You have to decide today that, okay, now that I know I need to be better at this, I'm going to do it more. The first time, vele, my fear is going to make me feel like I'm going to faint. Yes, you will. But you're going to speak anyway. And by the 10th time you do it, that muscle of courage is so built that man, you are nervous, but it's like, okay, I know I'm just going to grab a glass of water and then keep it moving. Build that courage muscle, and you build it by practicing. There's no getting around it. There's no running away from it, boss ladies. And that's what this challenge is going to do for us. I want to invite every single boss lady on the call today to join me in this challenge for November. Do you have your pens ready for the challenge? November is a challenge month to build our courage muscle for pitching. The challenge is you are going to use the next 30 days to establish your voice by joining the 30-day pitching challenge, where you share at least one video per week on social media. Why it's 30 days, I'm giving you literally the whole month, which has 4 weeks. Every week, you need to have one video. So over the next 30 days, you can use the first 3 days of the week preparing your video, shooting the video, planning the content, and then you say every Friday, I'm posting my video. Remember, this is done because we now have an understanding that a pitch is not the stage. It's not when they give you the mic and they say it's time to shine. The pitch is you presenting an idea. It's you telling us how that idea adds value and who it's adding value for. And then, and lastly, it has a call to action. What do you want people to think? Or how do you want people to feel? Or what do you want people to do now that they know what they know because of what you've told them? So remember, not every pitch is for sales. Ne? Boss Lady can tell us more. Boss Lady Knox, as the marketing guru, can tell us more that not every pitch is for sales. Some pitches are just to build your brand credibility. You don't build brand credibility by asking people to buy something. Buy this now. No. You build it by making them think differently about something. So now that I've shared all of this with you, I want you to think differently about how you approach your brand. That's a call to action. Because after they watch the video, they're like, oh yeah, you've actually made me do something. I'm now thinking the seeds are planted. Or sometimes you want people to feel a certain way. So decide what your call to actions are going to be, and then let the pitching begin. Boss ladies, I have reached the end of my presentation, I would like to invite you all to join us. Like I mentioned, we have a 10-week public speaking course. It's a brilliant training, if I do say so myself. The name of the course is called How to Deliver a Killer Speech Without Dying. And this is really where you're going to learn how to captivate audiences with your beautiful voice. Everyone can be a public speaker. Don't let them lie to you. It's not only for Bovusi Tembewai. Everyone can be a public speaker. You just need to harness one or two things and shape and hone one or two things to edify your value. And with that said, my contact details are on the screen. It has been an absolute pleasure interacting with you all. I can't wait to see you on the flip side. I'm going to meet you all at the Bio Summit on the 7th of December, our Christmas party. But for now, I'd really love to open up for questions, please. I'd love to hear from you. Any questions or comments?
Hi, Bossy. Bossy. Oh, so there's another hand. How often do you host the training? Is it quarterly? Is it monthly? Will the website have the date of the next one so we can find out?
So all our dates for 2024 for group sessions have been, they are finished. So we are currently taking one-on-one bookings. So this is the greatest opportunity to then enroll for the course because you can do it at your own pace. So you can choose your 10-week availability and let us know that I'm available between November and December, and we do it one-on-one. When you apply, there's a portion on the application form where you choose the date that is suitable and the time that is suitable for your availability, and we have one-on-one sessions. And then we'll announce our group sessions for the group training sessions in 2025. Did you get that, boss lady? I think we lost boss lady, but boss lady Sima, I see your hand is up.
Yes, I wanted to ask on the structure. Is there a way to is there structure to follow, or you can start with storytelling and then your statements and then your central point, or you have to follow this structure that you've given us? I don't know how to
That's
really
a
ask this
brilliant question. I get your question. I do. I get your question. It's a brilliant question. In the course, wink, wink, in the training course, we go into more detail, but maybe just for purposes of answering you on this platform, so there are different parts of your presentation, right? You have your introduction, you have your body, you have your conclusion. Your introduction also has a structure. So the structure of your introduction has a hook, it has the topic that you're going to cover, and then it has a little bit of an agenda. So you'll notice that when I started, I also covered today, I'm going to talk about XYZ. And then it also has your name. Who are you? And that's the structure of your introduction. How you then decide which order you want it to be in is completely up to you because it depends on your presentation. So for me, what worked for me today was starting with my hook, my story, because my hook was relevant to reel you in. And then I start with introducing my topic, introducing myself, and then unpacking what I'll be talking about. So you can play around with it.
I got it. Thank you so much. And then for
You're
the challenge, is there a hashtag, or it's just our own challenge to just encourage ourselves or we can do it all together with the hashtag.
I like that hashtag idea. I'll chat to Boss Lady Knox. Maybe we can come up with a nice hashtag for all of us to be able to track, you know? That would be really nice. That's a good idea.
It will also encourage us who are really scared and really, yeah, the whole video thing. So yeah.
Definitely. And that's the purpose of the challenge. So when you post your video, you know, tag me. And then I can DM you, or maybe before you post, you're like, Boss Lady, this is what I'm thinking. And then we chat about it. And then, but for that, you must register for the course. But I mean, it would be a great opportunity just to share highlights of, you know, just fix this because it's really glaring. But yeah, it would be a great opportunity for all of us just to get out of our shell. You're welcome, Boss Lady. Any more questions? Okay, looks like we are done. I am grateful. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was fun. It was really, really fun. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to share the slides. I'll share them with Boss Lady Knox.
Yeah, thank you so much, Boss Lady Masodi. Your passion, your energy when it comes to this field is just insane. It's incredible. And I'm just certain that a lot of boss ladies are going to show up differently in how they express their value and how they express why they should be the ones chosen for whatever space that they're in and what they want to secure. I pray the Lord bless you and expand your area of influence in your territory for just gifting us this wonderful, wonderful skill that we use every day, on the hour, every hour. Just understanding the power of communication in securing the things that we want and we desire. Really phenomenal. Thank you so much for tonight. Boss ladies, thank you for showing up and investing in yourselves. And I look forward to see your videos going to the next level. It's Tech Thursday, and how we thrive is we also just going to leverage the power of voice through our videos, and people will trust and connect with you better than just flat designs on social media. So I'm hoping you're going to indulge us and show up more on video like I've been asking for the rest of 2024. Now that you know exactly how to structure your story and your narrative, connect with people in a more emotive way, and yeah, use your power, voice power to win. Have a good evening and keep blooming.
Thank you, Boss Ladies. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.